All right, yo, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Borito Talk podcast. I am your host, Borito, the number one CDL ESPN analyst slash content creator in the world. And we are on the eve of the CDL 25 slash 26 season starting up tomorrow as I do this episode. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a prediction episode, doing standings, predicting the matches for tomorrow, some hot takes. Didn't have time to think of hot takes. There's only so many hot takes, honestly, to be honest. There's not really going to be anything crazy. There's obviously going to be roster changes, but I have some hot takes to go through. But before we get to the hot takes, just some quick notes that happened like throughout the day. So today is like season 1 of Black Ops 7, and they dropped 3 new maps. I only know 2 of the names. I don't know the third because I already forgot it. Very insignificant. I'm going to try to pull it up here as a professional that I am as I yap here. Oh, it's right here for me. So they dropped Utopia, Standoff from Black Ops 2, Odysseus, I don't want to pronounce that right now, and Fate. I had the chance to walk through these maps, and I'm sensing a little bit of a trend. Same thing from Black Ops 6. I think it's just like a new... I think it's like a new age thing. I think it's a new age thing when it comes to making the Call of Duty maps that... I mean, I guess I could pull this up in the screen. I guess it's like a new age thing when they make these maps. They all have to be so freaking small. It is just... The 2025, ever since MW 2019, every map just has to be small. It is like brain rot, ADHD, don't want people spawning too far out, gotta make sure they spawn close to the hills. All these maps, I just ran through all these maps. The YouTube video will probably be up by the time you hear this anyway. And every hill is positioned like you just like die and you spawn close enough to get right back in it 2 seconds later. Every hill's like that. Odyssey or Odysseus, I don't even want to like read it and like take time to think of what it says. I just probably know it's Odysseus. That map's obviously for face off. Didn't even go on that map. I don't think it's in private match anyway. Standoff, don't really want to see that map back again. I'm not gonna lie. It's a great map, but it's a great map for its time. I loaded up on it, played some pubs on it. Just didn't feel right. Playing it in 2025. And I played Overload on that map. And boy, granted, Overload's a little bit different in pubs. There's no respawn delay, so it's absolutely terrible. Don't want to see that map in competitive. They brought it back. Maybe Hardpoint, because we are severely lacking some good Hardpoint maps. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Shipman and Nuketown for ruining COD. I know, average noob. I mean... Oh, yeah, and also for those of you guys don't know, for those of you listening on audio in the morning, I'm doing this on live stream. Who knows how much I actually look in the chat. I'm blacking out. Yeah, but the maps are just too small. But there is one shining hope, and that is Utopia. And it fits the description of everything I said. It is small as all hell, but it has promise. It's a very vibrant map. You load up the map, and you know, just all your pheromones of just like, whoa, aesthetics. It looks beautiful, but it is very small. And the asterisk to that, or not the asterisk to that, but the other thing I was going to say, I can't even talk. That map should replace Colossus. Utopia, 100%. Not saying it's a great map, but it's better than Colossus. Colossus is probably the first map that needs to go. I wanted Blackheart to go. It's temporarily going to be gone because they're fixing it. It's apparently glitched, so we're not going to be seeing that map this weekend in Hardpoint. Utopia needs to replace Colossus. Colossus is only there for Hardpoint and S&D. Utopia could slot right in. It's way more eye-appealing. Both maps are very small, but Utopia has a bit more dimensions of things you could do on the map. Colossus is a very one-dimensional map for Hardpoint and S&D. The spawn flips in Hardpoint are very... I'm not going to say they're very easy, but just that whole P2 to P4 side, not working for me. And even the P3 side, not working for me too. And P1, not working for me. Just the whole map, not working for me at all. The map is not good. It's not fun to watch for S&D because you do the same thing pretty much every round. For Hardpoint, pretty bland. Utopia, even though it's small, seeing the bomb sites on that map, A is like pretty much in the open, as you can see from like the picture. It's pretty much right where the picture is, and you can see it from 18 different directions. You see from P1, you can see from P2 window, you can literally see from everywhere, but it's okay. And the other bomb site has outer. You could go outer, you could wall jump to it. The defense can see it, but they can't see the backside to it, and if you plant it, you have to slide and check it. Adds a little bit more sauce to it. I wouldn't say it's small. I would say it's compact. Like the map is cut up for subs. Lots of angles. If you don't think Utopia is small, I don't know what to tell you. But I get your point. And I was also going to add on, because I added on in my YouTube video as well that I haven't uploaded yet. I love the maps that have a lot of like corners and cuts. I like mazy maps. I love mazy maps because it makes it like when you take a route, it feels like a route, you know? First map that comes to my mind. Not sure if it's the best example, but it's like the only thing coming to my mind right now, and I'm not taking time to think. Not right now. Is Saint Mary du Mans in World War II. I love all the cuts. You could even say London Docks, even though the right side was all like the boat side. But I love maps that have like a lot of cuts to them. It's pretty great. And Utopia has a lot of cuts. You could say it's very small. Like from P1, you look to the P2 side, and that's pretty much that side of the map. It's like so small. But it's like a cool looking map that I feel will be very mazy and S&D and hardpoint and have some strategy to it. Colossus is very bland. I cannot even fathom a whole year watching Colossus. I'm actually just done with the map. The P1, that whole atrium side is just not it for me, and that should be the first map to go. And then we could talk about other maps later, like when Meltdown comes in. Meltdown for S&D could definitely replace something 100%. There's a lot of prospects. Even maybe if they fix the raid spawns, raid could get in for hardpoint. And that's also like another thing. There shouldn't be only 5 hardpoint maps. Like, why are we restricted to only 5? Why can't there be 6? Why can't there be 7? Because pros don't want to scrim all of them? Maybe you don't have to scrim all them all one day. Maybe some days you just scrim 5, and one days you leave 2 out, you scrim another 5. Or like you scrim 5, you leave 1 out that you're already like good at or don't want to scrim the other team on. 5 maps, I think, because like right now, the maps are so limited right now that we're getting like Den every series, obviously, because it's the best map, so it's going to be there every series. But we get Den every series. I'm not going to lie, this season hasn't even started. We've only watched the Kason tourney and the Monster 75K. I can't even say I'm tired of it because it is the best map and it's actually very eye-appealing and good. But I'm already so tired every series seeing Den Hardpoint, Den Hardpoint, Den Hardpoint, Den Hardpoint every series. That stuff could get boring real quick, no matter how good the map is. If it was like Raid back in the day, Black Ops 2, and it's in every series, that would be boring too. There's something really boring about seeing Den Hardpoint every series. I don't think there's been a series I haven't seen it. It's in every series. Den Hardpoint, Den Hardpoint, Den Hardpoint. Exposure Overload is like the best Overload map probably. See that pretty much every series. If a team's really good at it, like OpTic, they'll probably ban it and play Scar, which is what I'll probably suggest against OpTic right now. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Ban Exposure if you have like Team B. I think it's like Team B. Like that gets to pick that ban. Average Noob, I tried to watch BO6 a week ago and it's literally unwatchable. That game was and looks horrendous. Yeah, dude, I cannot go watch that map. What the heck's that map called? I already forgot it. It's already like terrible. I already forgot it. Oh my god, can I just like switch the 6 to the 7 and I loaded the BO6 fucking guides. This is what I wanted. What's that map? What's the map with the underground again? Let me see. Protocol, dude. I never want to see that map for the rest of my life. That map is absolutely terrible. But I just get the same vibes because even from Black Ops 6, when they dropped every season map, so we can even pull this up, every map was small and every map was bad and none of them could play for competitive except for Hacienda. Let's take that one out. It's an old map. Hideout, pretty cool for pubs. Couldn't play it for competitive. Extraction, just an absolute pub map. I've never seen any map more pubby. Heirloom, pretty much a face-off map. Racket is a face-off map. Season 2, they dropped Bounty. A cool-looking map, but insanely small. Bullet, freaking face-off map. Why even talk about it? It's a train map. Dealership was in for S&D. They forced it in, but it's a super small map. Not great. Grind, old map. Can't talk about it. And then they have other maps like Lifeline, pub map. Oh yeah, I'm highlighting everything. Whoops. They brought back Fire Range, but it was too late by then. Haven was super small. It was a cool looking map, but it was super small. They brought Barrage for Hardpoint, and it was all right, but you could easily tell how small it was because even on this tractor hill you're seeing right here, if you're watching on video, the spawns would flip like super quick, back and forth so fast. Annoying. Nomad pub map, way too small. Signal, I don't even know, never played it. Blitz, small map. They brought Fringe back. That was at the end of the season. You know, the season's over by then, and I haven't even played any of these maps. They obviously came after the season was over, but they just have a history of just small fucking maps that no one cares about. Like small maps. I gotta stop swearing too, by the way. You know what it is? The maps that Treyarch makes are long maps. They don't have width to them. Says Waleed Mohammed in the chat. Level Out Protocols Garbage 2 says average noob. Skyline or Vault, probably like the only two eye-appealing maps, but not great. Sledgehammer Maps is a mix of length and width. Yeah, I mean, we can even pull this up. We can pull this up right now. Because, like, there's clearly a trend. Every time I load up a Black Ops 7 map, I actually get depressed now. I'm not going to lie. I actually get super depressed. So, I was looking through the maps today. And, okay, now it's not even showing them now. Now it's actually just, like, now it's actually just trying to make me look bad. Okay, pulled up Utopia today. It's like every map is shaped like a... I don't even want to, like, say the word. It's an inappropriate word. Starts with a D, ends with an O, has an L in the middle. You can figure it out. But every map is like shaped like that, just like thin and just long. And it's like you could run through the map so quick. Like on the map, it looks pretty big, but we're looking at Utopia right now. I could get from this side to that side in under 10 fucking seconds. And like the fact that P1 to either side of the map, you could literally get there in not even 2 seconds, that is a problem. Like, I've always said, just space out the maps a bit. Like, they make some pretty good maps. Like, there are some good maps, but they're just not big enough. They gotta just space them out a bit. Just space them out a bit. That's all they gotta do. Proto fart. Proto fart. Man, you guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. Proto fart. Just got done playing HP on standoff. That map sucks on Black Ops 7. I would not be surprised. I played the map like for Overload. It was not fun, and I had like I was playing against some Challengers players or something, bro. They were sliding and fucking bait and switching and Overload. They're all sprinting together to the points. I was like, hey, I literally just came home from work. I don't got time for this. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Isn't this more of a movement thing than like a map size thing? Not really, because all right. Okay, so let's think of like Express. Let's think of Raid. Let's think of whatever. So let's look at Utopia right now. Let's see if I actually pull up my gameplay on it without... I'm going to block my screen. I'm so sorry for the audio listeners. I'm doing this live, so I'm actually like pulling some shit up. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm going to pull up me going through the map right now. Okay. Alright. You know what it is. Alright, you know what it is. Okay. So, I went through Utopia. And, alright. So, you can see it right here. How you could go from P1. Like, right now we're on P1. And you could go from P1 to either side. You could just look at the side. And you're already at the end. That's too small. That has nothing to do with movement. That is just... poorly constructed map. Like, look, you literally walk and you're already at the end of the map. I'm at the edge of the map. I walk like 2 steps. You could argue the movement thing for maps like Standoff, I guess, because yes, like there's like the wall jumping and you just like move faster, so it makes the map feel smaller. But I'm not even talking about the old maps. I just don't want to even see the old maps in like the game, honestly. But I mean, who knows? But this map has promise, but they have a very other clever thing that Activision likes to do that makes the map seem way bigger than it is, and it absolutely drives me crazy. They condense the middle of the map, and they put all this extra space at the back of the map that no one's even going to use. They love doing that. They love putting just empty void space at the back that could have been put into... It's like going in for liposuction, you know, where they suck some fat out of one place and put it into another. That's what they need to do with some of these maps. Like, there's always dead, like Protocol, for example. Protocol, the back spawns were like fuck deep as fuck. Like the offense side of Protocol S&D, no one goes back there. like all the way, it literally went back to like a dock by the water. I'm like, you couldn't take that away and like throw it in a mid or something, like take it from one spot, put it into another, make the map feel bigger. Now let's leave that dead space at the back of the map, and let's, you know, there's a lot of things like that they love to do. It's like the small thin map and just the just poorly constructed space. The games allow players to zoom across the map. Yeah, that's true. My bad, I joined late. I thought you were talking about all the maps in general in this game. I mean, I could be talking about all the maps in general. All the maps are pretty much like that, honestly. I mean, I already talked about it before this season even started, how some of these maps were. But I mean, there are maps like Exposure have redeeming qualities, you know, like they look cool. But, you know, every map's like so small. I think Scar's like a nice size map. Like, Scar's a good size map. Could argue maybe could be a bit wider in some spots, but I don't know if I just like big maps. I don't know. I don't think I like big maps. I just don't think I like small maps. Like super small. Like Firing Range is like a good small, but it obviously came from a time where you're moving slower. There's not tac sprint. But anyways, I could rant about these maps forever. But yeah. That's some I wanted to bring up. Just the Season 1 maps. Get Utopia in, get Colossus out. Very simple. Another thing I want to bring up that I don't even have the tab open for. I am an absolute noob. So I'm just going to pull it up here on Twitter, followed by my tweet that I'm not going to play. I'm just going to pause. So the OpTic Challengers team. OpTic is finally getting into Challengers. And their team is Nium, Renegade, Kips, and Raspy. I can't tell you too much about Raspy and Kips. I can tell you Kips is absolutely, like, he's actually gross. Kips actually has a lot of potential. Hello, Sarah Murray. What's good? Finally caught a stream, Vital says. What are you talking about, Vital? I see you in here all the time. What are you talking about? And I know it's a little bit hard because I do not announce anything. I literally just turn on the stream and just hope people show up. But I will be live for the matches all weekend long, so I mean, you could look forward to that. And I'll actually be on time for the games, by the way. We'll see about Friday because I do work, but I am going to start early. We'll see how late this podcast goes. We'll see how late it goes. Not going to be that late. But yeah, OpTic Challengers announced their team. I don't really have any thoughts about the team except that it's actually a very promising team. I think Kips and Nium are very good pieces. And so I want to get into the tweet I made about Nium. So a long time ago, I've basically been saying this all summer long. All summer long when everyone was talking about roster mania, who's going to pick up who. We heard the Kleenex thing on the team. We knew about the Real. We're wondering who was Toronto Ultra at the time. Coin now. Who's their fourth going to be? Everyone was speculating. Fourth going to be Mamba. Da-da-da-da-da. You guys could go watch this tweet if you want. Actually, I could just play the video. Let's play this 3-minute video and get my thoughts. But before I do that, I'm just going to like give some context, obviously. So in this tweet, I said, I feel like this is a lower key version of Merc going from Ultra to OpTic, because I personally thought Nium would be a great fourth for Ultra, but they thought otherwise. My grammar in this is terrible. Holy cow, I have a bunch of lower cases. He's probably the best unknown variable AR in challengers. He has takeover ability. He can slay pretty good. He's good at S&D, and I could see a dog in him. Very important quality, by the way, especially in like today's landscape. Now he's on OpTic Challengers team. I can honestly see Ultra doing average/bad and missing out on the chance for another great AR. So the whole point of this, I spent the whole summer saying Ultra should just get Nium. I was looking at all the other ARs. You got some like good ones like Diamond Con in there. You know, you have some ARs, some decent ARs, but they're all people that have been in the league. You know, people probably don't want to take the chance on him. Thieves is now a new type of player now. Like, he's like a superstar now. So his standard of who he wants to team with has now gone up as well. So he's not going to want to go back down to, like, no offense, like Pro Loot or like those guys. He thinks he's could get someone better or just take a chance on an unknown variable. And I was looking at the landscape of all the ARs that haven't been picked up, etc., and I'm like, Nium is like a can't miss. I watched Nium play at Challengers. I didn't watch every single game, but I did watch a few games. And there was a lot of times, especially in S&D, there was like some Game 5 S&Ds, he was legit putting the team on his back. He has a carry ability in Challengers that, you know, I'm not going to say not a lot of people have, because they did go out early at like a lot of these turns. I think they made some deep runs. I don't know. But he has the carry ability in him, which is big. And he's good at S&D, which is big for Ultra, because last year they left Beans in charge of their S&D strats. News to me. But, I mean, apparently it works. So you're bringing in a player who's also good at S&D, could, you know, run shit down with Joe and Real, who's also good at S&D. So you'd have a good trio of S&D. He's good at respawn. He knows his shit for, like, how young he is. He actually understands respawn. I'm hearing him in these OpTic Challenger stuff, and he's pretty much, like, the most experienced, like, player, I guess, competitive-wise on this team. I mean, crazy. Probably just like a year or two. But I hear how he like directs things. He predicts spawns for the rest of his team. Like, hey, they're going to be spawning here. Like, look over here, all that stuff. Very good at that stuff. Intangible qualities to have like in Challengers, you know, taking that into like the league. Obviously, you're playing with people who already know spawns, but just the fact that he has that in him already, like he has the leadership in him. He seems very mature for his age. Ice in his veins. Like, he's a really good player, and he's not slow. That is the biggest thing when it comes to Koi and Insight. He's not slow. He's not slow. Ultra or Koi, I'm going to keep calling him Ultra. Ultra is just so synonymous with the name. Koi made a grave mistake, and I'm going to get to my hot takes later, which has to do with Koi, but Koi made a grave mistake. They should have never picked Insight back up. You should have seen what FaZe Vegas did. Granted, it's not working for FaZe Vegas right now. Simp and Abees have been playing together for their whole careers, and, you know, they've been placing way better than Ultra, that's for sure. Way better than Ultra, a lot more accomplished than them, but they haven't been winning lately. It's been a bad slump for them lately, and they decided after 6+ years of teaming together, we're gonna break up. It's just best for business. Something fresh. Kleenex at Insight saw that and said, nah, fuck it. Let's run it back. Even though I'm not sure how entirely much it was Kleenex's. I mean, Joe Deceives had the keys, okay? Joe Deceives had the keys. I'm sure he was the final say on this, 100%. Kleenex and everyone was a free agent. Joe was the only person on that team. Joe got everyone. Maybe not Real. Maybe that was more of like a team like this decision, you know. But I mean, he's not gonna deny Real. Real's a good player. Kleenex on a flex, so he brought Kleenex back. Probably looked at the landscape of flexes and said, "I gotta bring this guy back, man. There ain't nobody here, you know. There ain't nobody here." So he goes back to that. Then he goes back to Insight. And before I get into Insight, let me read the chat. Great branding out of OpTic, though. Yeah, it is great branding. I'm not going to lie. Bringing back the Huntsman thing was pretty clever. Um, couldn't watch the last few. Went back and watched though. MVP right there, Vital. I fucking love you for that. I been knew Nium was next up. Surge will fry. I'll be getting into that. Trust me. Like, you're not gonna wanna. You're probably not gonna like what I have to say about Vancouver Surge late. Raspy is also good too, I think. I haven't watched Raspy, so I'm not even gonna comment on that. But Kips and Nium are very good, and I thought Nium was a can't miss. The league, the CDL, the Call of Duty League, is severely lacking AR players. And I'm just looking over to my right, and I am not recording on OBS right now. What the fuck? I am not recording on OBS. What am I doing? Oh my god. I'm just now recording on OBS. Oh my god. So crazy. I gotta go back and record this. Oh my gosh. I'm going to hell. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Nium I thought was a can't miss. There is like a shortage of ARs. I've talked about this in the offseason. There's a shortage of good AR players. Mercules, OpTic Mercules came in and changed the landscape of what it means to be a flex and a good AR in your team. And I'm still finding that a lot of teams aren't following that. Like, they're not seeing that and going, let's replicate it. They're kind of just like doing their own thing. And, you know, a lot of those people are still playing the same. There's a big shortage on good ARs. And Nium I thought was a can't miss. Like, I cannot miss. We got some teams recycling Beans, you know, who just played on Koi, where he had a chance to shine and couldn't succeed on that team. How is he going to succeed on Cloud9? I will never know. I will never know. Like, Beans now, I mean, I talked about this before, but now I'm just going off a tangent. Beans now is going to get relegated to like a bottom 4 team or just EU challengers. Like, he ruined his stock on Koi. Maybe I'll get proved wrong, but he ruined his stock and he will never get back on like a top 5 team. And like, that's just like my prediction. Not even talking from a hater, but not performing on that Koi team I thought was very detrimental. And not only that, but a player coming in and making your team look better and then you going back on that team and they look worse. That is just terrible optics for you. That is terrible optics for you. So Beans is now, he's just a bottom player and he's going back to EU challengers. And then when that's not working out, we're just never going to hear from him again. That's pretty much like what's going to happen, like with Beans. Because, you know, he had the one shot. He's not getting on OpTic, LED, any of that. Whatever. Clip the stream and edit it in. Ooh, you're smart. You're smart. I think I could do that. I don't know. Actually, I'm pretty sure you're right. I think Falcons will be A in S&D. Cell's their best player, and he's their island player. Actually, honestly, sounds crazy, but I think Pred's actually their best player. I think Pred's their best player. As crazy as that sounds, I hate his game style and his gameplay. Don't get me wrong, but I think Pred is like has to be their best player. He's the only player on that team that could like take over a series and single-handedly win. Any player on a team who could single-handedly win a series by himself, especially if he's the only one that could do it on the team, is the best player on the team. MC could have like good series where he's like a 1.8, but I don't think he's going to single-handedly win a series for Falcons. He's just going to like single-handedly play well, but he's not going to single-handedly win for Falcons. Pred will literally win you a series. No matter how bad he plays, no matter how bad of a teammate he is, he will win you a series. He performed like till Merc came in. Barely performed. Like he averaged like a 0.99, I think, overall, which isn't bad, but you know, the upper echelon of ARs, if you're trying to be an upper echelon, gotta average over like a 1.02 minimum or something like that, you know. Laugh aloud. The league has tendencies to recycle AR players more than SMGs. And it's a friendship league too, you know. Not to have to call it the people over there on Cloud9, but you know, I'm seeing some London influence. You know, you have Afro, you got Beans, you got the head coach. You know, there's some London influence in there. You know, could say, you know, like some friendship cheese. Who knows? I seen Cell drop like a 1.6 in grand finals last year. True. True, but he still does have like Simp and Abizi on his team. Not saying, I don't know. I just don't like. Usually, games are decided by SMG players, and AR just have to like do their job. Obviously, having good ARs is very important to like a team. I guess you could say he's the best. It's that one's up for like interpretation. I know probably like 90% of people are gonna say he's the best player on Falcons. I actually do think it's Pred. Honestly, I do think it's Pred. If we're talking about like overall just best player, who's the best player, it has to be MC. If we're talking about who has the highest skill ceiling on that team, who's the most skilled player, it's MC, obviously. Off impact, Pred is the best. Yeah, so it all depends like what your criteria is. There's more young SMG talent coming out compared to main ARs. Wash SMGs are now just moving to ARs. Yeah, like Pro Loot. Off impact, Pred is the best. Okay, yeah, I already read that. My bad. But yeah, I thought Nium was a can't miss. Apparently Ultra did not think so, and they decided to recycle Insight. And I saw Insight playing, and I saw he was still the same slow player. I think people need to really watch OpTic. Like, people need to really watch OpTic and look at the dynamic OpTic has. And I'm just shocked because in sports, granted it's esports, not actual sports, but it's still along the same lines. In sports, teams see tactics other teams do, and they copy it, or they try to counter it, or make it better. Every team... Teams copy off other teams. Why is the professional Call of Duty league the only like league where it's like people don't want to copy off each other? How are people not seeing the dynamic on OpTic and how OpTic plays and think, we should like implement some of this stuff? If you look at OpTic, pretty much majority of the time, everyone on the team has around the same interactions. Everybody. There could be games some people take over, some games people play bad, and they may have like a little bit less. But the thing with Insight that's still carrying on into this game is how much significantly lower in interactions he is than the rest of his team. Like significantly lower. And it's a trend. And it's continuing. I'm thinking it's going to change. It's not. In this game, everyone needs to be on the same page. I don't know what needs to be hammered into them to just speed up. I know everyone has like a set way that they like to play. I know that's a thing, but you gotta change your ways. It's for the betterment of the team. I know like the stuff he does, like he does a lot of very intangible things. Don't get me wrong. Does a lot of very intangible things. Okay? But overall, needs to speed up, needs to do more. I don't think this Ultra team is gonna do that well this year. I know like Kleenex and Insight, like whenever like they talk in interviews, like they believe Ultra should be like a top team. Like they should be a top team. Okay, I'm gonna pull up an example. Granted, Ultra fried, but I guess we could just go through this together because I don't know. I was trying to pull some up. But like this is just like sort of an example. Like just 20 less, 2K less. It's like a whole map he was not playing. A whole map he's not playing. Let's try to Monster Invitational. I don't know. How legit are these? Let's look at like the Team War one. Let's see what he's doing for Team War. I'd hope he'd be frying on this one. Okay. Not bad, but but you're seeing the trend. Okay, that's Team War. I'd be surprised you're not firing as fuck Doug Sensor Martin. He dropped like a 0.3 that series. Doug Sensor Martin was getting cooked that series. But yeah, there's always a trend. Anyways, holy cow, I just absolutely closed that tab. Oh, there we go. Kind of interesting. Is OpTic the only team where the IGL is a sub player? That's an interesting question. Let me look at all the teams. Boston Purge is the IGL, so I guess you could say Purge. He's the most vocal person on the team. Slasher probably for Ravens. Cloud9, I'd probably say it's an SMG. Maybe Reese, but team Call of Duty doesn't have like set IGLs, but a lot of teams do have like a personality who just kind of like inserts himself and is very like all of us could tell. Cloud9, I'm not gonna say Afro. I was kind of gonna say Afro or Reese. Honestly, I don't want to say Beans. I don't think that's good. SMGs, no, not Minnesota. Kremp is actually getting a lot more vocal. He actually is. Kremp's getting a lot more vocal. Hydra's pretty vocal, but you got Kenny there now. Miami, no. Paris, Envoy and Ghosty, I guess. Riyadh Falcons would have to be AG or Kismet, but Kismet's a flex, so I guess not him. Jodeci's pretty vocal, would have to be inside. Okay. So yeah, it would be OpTic and Breach, I guess. OpTic and Breach. OpTic and Breach, maybe Cloud9. OpTic Breach, maybe Cloud9. I don't know how Insight can't pick up the speed. I don't understand it either. It is just the hardest thing in the world. I just will never understand it. He just calms the most. Yeah. I would say he's the most vocal in comms. Oh, yeah, for sure. He's like the backbone of OpTic. It's actually crazy. Do you think Kicks coming back would help anything? Not really. I mean, I don't really share like the same sentiment as everyone. I'm sure he would be like a good player, but I mean, everyone watched him play like 2 games and he was like frying, and everyone just thought, dude, like everyone just thought superstar. I think a little bit differently, where I just need to like see more, or I just can't react off of like one thing I've seen. Like everyone saw a Minnesota have a great showing in like the monster thing, and now people are putting him in the top 5 already. It's too early for that. It's one tourney. We can't start throwing not rocker anymore, G2 Minnesota in the top 5. We just can't do that. Most vocal does not mean IGL. Yeah, but you can tell by like the presence, like if they're the most vocal, it means like they're like directing the traffic the most. But I mean, OpTic is like OpTic's the team where everybody fucking contributes. Like Shotzi contributes a lot, but there's a lot of times where Shotzi just blacks out and he's just roaming and everyone else is talking and he doesn't talk for like a minute. Happens all the time. And then there's times he's like super vocal, super coordinative, and all that stuff. So yeah, but yeah, Nium should have got picked up. I wanted to be on Ultra, but they went for Inside instead. And now this OpTic Challengers team, I'm not saying they're going to win any cups. I don't think they're going to win any cups, but they are going to have some good showings. And they got the support of the Green Wall. I like that OpTic has a Challengers team, because now people are actually going to start like watch partying Challengers, or at least people from OpTic, and it's going to put more eyes on Challengers. And now Challenger teams are going to be more open to start showing their scrims, because now Scump's going to be streaming like Challenger scrims. People are going to be like, oh my god, I'm on Scump stream, you know. Like, they're going to want to scrim this team. Everyone's going to want to scrim this team, and we'll see how Renegade does. He's picking up pretty well, but like he kind of has like that play style. It's the exact same play style he has in Halo, where he doesn't do that much objective work. He just wants to like kind of like roam and slay and like get kills. We'll see how that works out on this team with this dynamic. I'm gonna have to watch their gameplay. I haven't really watched that much of their gameplay. And they scrim during employed hours. Like, I work. I don't have time for this, you know. I can't go back and watch this, you know. Tuna Flinger, first time chatter on Twitch. Do you think Kenny will be booted off Thieves if he keeps it up? You know, I want to say yes. I really do want to say yes. But the thing about that is Kenny has a lot of respect on the 100 Thieves organization. He's a 100 Thieves Hall of Famer. He is on the wall at the HQ. He's a Hall of Famer for 100 Thieves. Brought LA Thieves their only world championship. He's won countless championships for 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves their first championship. He was there for that. Very respect around the organization. He would have to be doing like what he did on OpTic last year. And I mean, who says that's not going to happen? But if he's just playing bad, I'm sure. I mean, but now things are changed. But it's interesting. That's actually a very interesting like topic, because Hydra has the motion over there. Scrap got the motion over there. But Kenny's well respected. So it's like, who is going to get the edge? I would have to say Hydra, honestly, even though Hydra and Scrap are probably on the last year of their contract. Who knows? Like, they can be going, but they are like your best players. So who are you going to try to keep happy? Them or Kenny? You're probably going to drop Kenny if he's playing bad. You know, regardless of the respect he has, and I'm sure Kenny's the type of player that wouldn't take it personally unless it was like unwarranted. He wasn't playing super bad. But if he's dropping what he's dropping on OpTic, like going on like 10 death streaks, not getting a kill for 2 rounds of control in a row, he's gonna get dropped on his forehead for sure. He on the wall of fame for the most consecutive 0.5 KD games in a row. Holy cow. I love Kenny jokes, man. I love me a Kenny joke. I'm not gonna lie, I love me a Kenny joke. Keep them coming. I mean, just based off hearing okay, I read that, my God. Scum Glaze, OpTic saving challengers. I mean, I'm not glazing no one. I'm just pointing out the facts. Should not stop them at all from dropping him. Exactly. I would have to guess Hydra and Scrap have more weight on the scale in terms of like what goes down, I would say. Hydra, Scrap, Jodeci's, Kleenex, MW4. Interesting. I would not be surprised if that happens. But honestly, if OpTic does not have a good year, who says Hex isn't gonna pick up Hydra? Because like they've tried to get him in the past. Who says they don't go for Scrap if a Dashi or Merc falls off? Yeah, I would be shocked, but it is Scrap though. You know? Who says FaZe doesn't go for them? Who says Scrap and Hydra? Hydra would love to go play with freaking Christopher Lear, who's constantly doing the OBJ for the team, even though he's not supposed to, and he's supposed to change his ways, but he still is. So who says Hydra does not want to go play with probably like the best OBJ player in the game besides Jodeci's Christopher Simp Lear? But yeah, that Hydra, Scrap, Jodeci's Kleenex team, like I thought that was going to be a team at like some point already, but you know, contracts did not live up to that. Can we get some ghosty gas? I mean, like, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Kason.
Where are you, Burrito? I know you're in
showdown thing. Oh, my God. I can't. KSTW, thank you for the follow on whatever that was. I'm pretty sure I think that was Twitch. Did you hear the rumor about Thieves? Oh, no. What the heck's the rumor? What the heck? That he is a diehard Fury and attends all the Fury conventions.
Hey, where are you, Burrito? I know you're in here.
Oh my God, is this like I don't know what the heck that is. I have no idea what that is. Not gonna lie, I don't think Scrap and Hydra are splitting as a duo. I mean, if one guy gets pulled to FaZe, one guy gets pulled to OpTic, I mean, the only reason why they found each other, to take into account, the only reason why Hydra and Scrap found each other is because their teammates were letting them down. And they knew with each other, since we're both consistent slayers, we know we're not going to let each other down. So, you know, if they do find that in another team, I mean, who says they aren't going to split? Like, if Hydra gets offered to OpTic, and he's playing with a Dashi, Merc, and Shotzi, he knows those players aren't going to let him down. So, who says he's not going to leave Scrap, you know? The only reason why Scrap and Hydra are playing together is because, like, they know they can depend on each other with consistent slang and not shitting the bed. But, I mean, if they can't go on OpTic or fuck FaZe, I'm sure they'll probably stick together, to be honest. They'll probably stick together. Yeah, I don't know what, like, the furry thing is. He's a diehard furry and attends all the furry conventions. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. But, yeah, this OpTic Challengers team, high hopes for Kips. Very good player. Like, he passed the eye test. I haven't watched him play for I probably watched like an hour of him play with S&D tourneys and scrims. He's gross. High ceiling, high future for him. He's only 19 too. Yeah, he got the fucking palm of his hands type shit. As for Raspy, have to watch him more. You know, I'm actually cheering for the OpTic Challengers team, but I'm not cheering for like the main team, you know, as you guys can probably expect. I'm probably going to try to do some analysis for these guys and just like see. And speaking of the devil, Dan Ghosty right there. W pickup W OpTic right there from Dan Ghosty. Let me just talk about this Kason showdown real quick, because you want to talk about like the Ghosty gas. And Paris did win this. They beat OpTic 4-1 in the finals. And I even said way before the finals. I would probably not count the grand finals for anything. I mean, there are probably some things you could look into, but it is after like 12 hours of sitting around doing nothing, stoppages, a lot of waiting. Players are tired of doing nothing all day because Activision makes a great game with a great private match, great servers, by the way. And players are just tired. So, I mean, like, that grand finals is a grand finals. It is what it is. But Paris did win. Paris does look very good. And Paris, I talked about it before. I can pull up that tweet as well. Very important tweet. Very important tweet that has everything that I'm thinking in my brain as I try to find this pretty deep. So this tweet basically summarizes everything I need to say about the GentleMates. GentleMates had the best looking jerseys I've probably ever seen in the CDL era. The best looking team in the CDL. Probably didn't need to put that part in. And I didn't put in probably like the best fans in the CDL. Probably better than the OpTic fans, believe it or not. Great players, great org, and a great hungry coaching staff. If you know, you know. They got Mayhem. They got Mayhem. They got Vios. And they got Cheek, who's actually like a great analyst. He's the brother of Cloud9 head coach Arion. They're grinders. They're very hard workers. So they got a great, hungry, young coaching staff. Basically have all the pieces to be successful and win. It just comes down to the players. It's a make or break year for all 4 of the GentleMates players. They all have things to prove. Envoy and Ghosty got dropped from Thieves, trying to show they are great players who could still win and not look bad without superstars around them. Neptune has a gigantic chip on his shoulder, constantly getting snubbed, which is crazy, by the way, wanting to show how great he can be this year. I'm sure he will. Sib, a player with S tier plus talent, but a B tier attitude that overbears his trajectory. A player trying to make the talent match the expectation. No better time than now for this team and players to win. Keep a straight head. Don't get flustered in difficult times. Develop undeniable chemistry/teamwork. Then the sky is the limit. Most of these teams won't touch you. That is Borito on Twitter. And pretty much sums up everything I have to say about the GentleMates. Everything about this team is good. Everything about the org is good. The support from the org and the fans. You got great pieces around you. It literally just comes down to the players. Keep a straight head on your shoulders. Lock the fuck in. Don't get flustered. Don't get mad at each other. Develop undeniable teamwork and you will win probably multiple championships. If you guys don't become children. Don't become children, please. Don't argue with each other. Arguments will happen over gameplay. But don't let it get toxic. Don't start hitting each other. This is a big proving year for all you guys. Like Neptune. A Ghosty talked about it in the interview, how he's surprised Neptune didn't get that many offers. I'm surprised too. But do you want to know what's not going to help that? If you have a bad year this year on this team with these players. That will not help it even more. Even though I do think Neptune should be a mainstay in the league. He's like probably in the top 10 most skilled in the league. Honestly, probably, maybe. Deserves to be in the league for sure. Way too good for challengers. But if he doesn't have a good year on this team, who's going to have any more of a reason to want to pick him up again? But he probably will land on the team. Just probably won't be as good a team, maybe. Dan Ghosty, Envoy, they were like Nate Shot talking about, like, if you guys can't perform at the last 2 events, then you just have to get dropped. Trying to prove they could still be good without superstars on the team. And Dante, a player with so much skill, but that attitude and his personality. I'm not saying his personality because I don't know him personally, but like you guys can see how he is sometimes. He can get really toxic. And that toxicity just overbears everything. And the way his attitude is really holds him back. His attitude is his biggest anchor. And you can say the same thing about Ghosty. He could have been on OpTic probably like forever if it wasn't the attitude thing and like certain players not liking it anymore. So all these players got something to prove. But they did have a good showing. And if it's a glimpse as to what we're going to see from Paris going into the season, I mean, the sky is the limit. Like, freaking Ghosty was making so many clutch plays, playing very good. He was reading a lot of things very well. Pulled out an SMG on Blackheart, was frying with it, showing he can be a Slayer. Like, I think a lot of people like think like Dan Ghosty is some sort of like utility player. He was being like the roaming Slayer in Challengers. He was literally that. And then he got picked up on OpTic, and you're playing with other players that, you know, are like superstars and you're new, so you're gonna just take that other role. But he's been the roaming Slayer. He showed that on LA Thieves when he was on there, like before, when he's on there in MW3, like before they got like the superstars in the team. Like, he's had that in his bag forever, but then he's had to like add another notch to his belt and become a different type of player. Same way like Kenny became that sort of player for OpTic later. Ghosty dropped his nuts on Ghosty dropped his nuts on Dashy. His aim is actually kind of crazy. You're talking about Kips. Is Renegade good? Too early to tell. He's like kind of like playing the same way that he plays in Halo. We'll see how it. I'm not gonna say he's like good yet. I'm not gonna say he's good yet. I'm not gonna lie. Dante's insane with the sniper. Yeah, he's pretty good with the sniper. I'm not gonna lie. He has all the skill, dude. It just comes down to his mental. That's literally all it comes down to. He is his biggest enemy. He's always been his biggest enemy. Hydra would probably love to team with Dashy. Honestly, yeah, he probably would. I can't tip the sniper shots. It's OP with aim assist. I mean, these players would be hitting the sniper shots like without it. I mean, even for me, I was playing the Call of Duties like back in the day. Like the sniper's pretty much the exact same thing to me. I could snipe the exact same. It really doesn't matter. Is Nep not a superstar? Not yet, because he hasn't really done anything, but he's like pretty much there. Like, anyone that could come in and transform a like bottom 3 team to a top 2 team consistently, I mean, he's pretty much right there. The only team that fan base can rival OpTic fans, finally, yes. CS, the other 11 don't do anything. Wait, what? I don't even know what you said there. Case on saying hell not a nap in his stream in the offseason is crazy. Yeah, I made a whole tweet about that one too. I mean, like, that one actually popped off. I'm not going to lie. That tweet actually super duper popped off. I was actually pretty gassed about that. Where the heck is that one? How did FaZe Vegas not pick up Neptune? I mean, I could even just play this clip. I was supposed to play like the other clip too about the Ultra thing, but I actually forgot. But I'm gonna play this one about Neptune and FaZe Vegas months ago and this is from my other episode of Burrito Talk, by the way. This gives me a chance to take a water. If that is the reason why you didn't pick up Neptune, you deserve to lose this year. I'm not even gonna lie. With all due respect, there is no world, and I was even mind blown in the offseason months ago when I found out like they weren't gonna do it. There is no world that you should not be picking up Neptune over 04. There's no reason. The only thing I could really think about is that like 04 and Abuza were like really a duo and like really had good chem together. So you're bringing the Drazen Simp and the 04 and Abuza. You're bringing 2 duos together. So you got the chemistry that just intertwines into a nice quartet. That's all fine in rainbows. But Neptune brings a lot that 04 does not bring. He's still good at S&D. He's way better at respawn. He's more of a slayer. And the biggest factor that you should have got Neptune over 04. Neptune has takeover ability. Not saying 04 doesn't. 04 has like some games where he's like taken over, but haven't really seen him do it against like the better teams in the league. I've seen him do it against like the mid pack. Haven't seen him do it against OpTic or LAT or even like a Miami. Haven't really seen like a super takeover game from him. Yeah, anyways, we don't have to hear all that. That was crazy. But Simp literally runs people with the sniper. He's not doing that with no aim assist. Trust me, bro. Like, the best snipers in the game are sniping the exact same way. It is not that crazy without aim assist, especially if you're already used to it. There's like almost no difference. Like, the way that you snap onto people, it's pretty much like the same thing, honestly. Joe is a freaky frog. What the heck? What the heck did I just read? Draws Abuza Nep Simp would be freaking elite. I know it would. Like, absolutely elite. Neptune can take the bomb in S&D. He did it last year with 04, even though this year Envoy's taking it because Envoy takes pride in that. Great. Neptune could take the bomb. Neptune's better at respawn. Neptune can play more direct. Neptune can not only play direct and get on the hill more, but Neptune is a very good flanker, very good pincher. That's one thing like Simp's not trying to do, or like he does sometimes, but when Dross is inconsistent, when Simp's inconsistent, you need that other person you can depend on in the slaying category, in the engagement category. And Neptune will be perfect engagement-wise. And we're seeing how Neptune is right now. He is literally him right now. Imagine if he was on FaZe. Neptune and Simp. Abuza and Draza. That sounds like a way better team. That sounds like a team I would be throwing in the S tier or high A tier. That is a team where no matter who is slacking, there's always someone there to pick up the slaying. Abuza could pick it up, Neptune could pick it up, Simp could pick it up, even Draza could pick it up, regardless of how inconsistent he's been right now. There's takeover potential there from all four players, and that would have been another Giga Chad team. Neptune's almost pretty much a better version of a BZ and does more for the team to win. That would have been a way better pickup. All right, okay. It's so funny because Nep had more hill time than 04 and BO6. Yeah, because 04 is playing the exact same way. 04 is a roamer. 04 has always been a roamer. So I don't know. Like, the only reason I could think FaZe picked up 04 is for the vibes. That's the only reason I could think. For the vibes. That's the only reason I could think. Picked them up because the vibes were high. That's all fine and dandy. But when your whole team's getting cooked, who's there? Who's there? Simp can't fry every series. We can see very clearly Draza can't fry every series. 04 can't fry every series. We need more guarantees. Like, the top of the league is stacked so heavy, and FaZe now going into games against LAT and OpTic, like, they're already like outmanned, outgunned. Neptune would help balance the scales of that a lot. 04 can't do that. 04 is still a very novice player. 04 is a very good player, don't get me wrong. But 04 is very novice. Like, you can see it sometimes, bro. I don't have the exact timestamp. I'm not sure if I actually put this in my notes, but I was losing full because I went back on my own time and I watched I think it was against OpTic. Frick, should I pull this up? Should I see if I can pull this up live on Borito Talk? This is just terrible audio, though. It's terrible audio. Terrible audio for the audio listeners when I'm pulling shit up. I don't like this.
Right down here, you need to. But
I always get on. I always get into like a tangent. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna pull it up. Okay. Anyways, now pulling it up. Okay, but you could go back and watch. It was against OpTic in like the case on Showdown. It was a P3 going into P4, so it'd be very easy to find. A P3 going to a P4. It was either the first rotation or the second rotation. 04 and Abuza got the last guy, and there was like 15 seconds maybe, I think, or less. I think there was actually less maybe, on P3 going into P4. I'm watching 04 still go for a wide swing on tower when literally all of OpTic is already gone. They're just gone. They're like, no one's there. Like, he killed everyone. They all spawn P2. They're gone to P4. He is like flipping the, he literally flipped the spawn for OpTic like to get in the back and like put claps on his team and break. And I was like, dude, I know it's a new game, but I swear I literally watched one map of Odd for Den and I understood the spawns. There's no way he didn't understand at that point in time. Him pushing that side, pushing the tower side with like 8 seconds left was going to flip the spawn to give OpTic like a back dojo spawn. It was like, oh my dude, you won't get that from Neptune. Maybe because, you know, Neptune does have some blackout ability. But, you know, this FaZe team could use someone with blackout ability who just like run shit down and maybe sometimes blacks out trying to make a play. Because you have players that can recover for it. Yeah, good sniping players will always be good with any boomstick. Yeah, pretty much the same shit. So this whole enabling thing with 04 doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, he's not enabling him at all. Like, at all. And I highly recommend go watch the new YouTube video I just dropped on YouTube. It's 13 minutes long. Me showing 2 examples of this 04 Simp thing. I'm even going to try to pull it up for you guys sort of here without having like the audio. So you guys can see this. You guys can see this joke of enabling. There's no enabling going on here, brother. I can tell you that right now. There's no enabling going on. So I'm going to fast forward to the S&D. Let's fast forward to the S&D. In this S&D, I couldn't believe my eyes at this still shot right here. This still shot, I could not believe my eyes. I know what happens. No, actually, no. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. So I needed someone to explain to me what enabling Simp looks like. Because what this looks like to me is Simp's doing everything and 04 is not doing anything that could enable Simp. That's what this tiny still shot tells me. That's what the hard points tell me. What enabling is going on here? Like, it's almost like Simp could do whatever he wants, but he still has to take the bomb. Like, I don't understand that dynamic. Why couldn't 04 take the bomb this round? I know sometimes when players are like going over S&D, sometimes they come up with what they're doing right when the round's about to begin. I'm sure Simp said, I'm going to go breach, and everyone else is like, yeah, I'm going to go A. There's no way 04 or someone else could not have taken the bomb. Simp is literally relegated to bomb every single round, even with fucking 04. I thought he was doing it for Abizi because he had the respect saying Abizi's on the same level as me. So, fuck. Abizi's the first blood reaper. I might fuck take the bomb, sure. Why the fuck are you doing with 04? I hate to have to swear. I don't like swearing on my podcast. I want to keep the podcast family friendly. Family friendly. Just in case there's any fathers taking their children to work and they're listening to Borito Talk. I want it to be family friendly. I'm so sorry for swearing there. But why? Like, why can 04 take the bomb this round? I'm just so confused. I'm so confused why Simp got relegated. I don't know what enabling is going on here. I don't know what Crowder was cooking up when it showed all of them on the monitor and he's talking to them. I don't know what they're cooking, but the stove wasn't turned on. And it hasn't been turned on for months. Or even a year. This stove has no heat, has no electricity. But yeah, I could go into FaZe forever, but we'll see how they do this weekend. But Paris played good this weekend. Paris played good during the Kason tourney. OpTic is still OpTic. They're just super tired of going to the grand finals. LA Thieves, they're dynamic. I mean, we're going to get into... this is a long episode. What the F? This episode's way longer than I thought. I got to, like, skip through this stuff. I was like, man, I'm going to have nothing to talk about. It's going to be like half an hour. Here I am yapping like I could only yap. There's a rumor circulating that Simp the Pimp stole Kenny. Oh, okay. No. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're trolling, too. No, I'm actually I actually already know who you are. I'm actually going to ban you. I actually know who you are. I know exactly who you are. Yeah, so what I was saying, rather keep a BZ if 04 is just gonna do this. Exactly. Like, you might as well just keep the bro. But I mean, it's so funny because like Simp's like, haven't talked to a BZ since the airport. He just like kind of like didn't text me or anything. Just completely ghosted me. So I mean, a BZ was freaking done anyway, but you should have just kept him. I will say though that 04 is great at getting first bloods in S&D. Not as good as a BZ, but I will take your point. I'm taking Snoopy over 04. I don't give a... Hey, man, that's a great take. I would take Snoopy over 04 too. With Nep, you are guaranteed that he has the most interactions on the map, and that's what FaZe needs. I'd say that's what it means to enable. Yeah. And do the objective work. You can't enable Simp when he's still on the fucking hill. Why is he bumping for everyone? Why is Simp bumping for everyone? How is that enabling? That's dumb. That's not enabling. That is the opposite. I'm like, FaZe did the most lateral move. Like, who is making these decisions? I'm so curious. Like, I'm just so curious. It's like they need their handheld when making these decisions because FaZe hasn't been making good decisions for years now. Like, for years. Like, you could say the whole time when they had, like, their trio, like, their dynasty roster, there's no way that team shouldn't have won at least, like, 1 or 2 more Call of Duty World Championships. I don't care if the competition increased. That team was, like, too good not to at least win 1 more. Like, absolute joke. of like what's going on over there. I'd say that's what it means to enable. Exactly. Has it been turned since Major 2 of BO6? Yeah, exactly. Like, he's literally just been off. Like, literally the light switch of Christopher Lear's been off. Good yapping sesh. Thank you. Thank you. What was the rumor circulating? Oh, no. Oh, no. Who are these people on their alt accounts, man? Who are these people on their alt accounts, man? Crazy. But yeah. LA Thieves. LA Thieves dynamic. LA Thieves dynamic. I mean, I talked about this. It's hilarious that now Abizi's now taking the bomb after 6 years of not taking it on Atlanta FaZe. Now all of a sudden he just has no choice. If I'm Simp and I'm seeing that, I'm kind of insulted, not gonna lie. I'm kind of insulted. Oh, you could take the bomb with Hydra, can't take it with me. Okay, cool. Cool, noted. Granted, Abizi's walking into a team that's not his, but I mean, still, like, the point stands. He's the first blood reaper. Hydra said, I don't care, you're taking it. And freaking Kenny said, I don't want to take the bomb because Kenny doesn't know what to do with it. Scrap's not taking it because Scrap's Iron Man. All he does is iron with the AR, so he can't take the bomb. BZ is literally the odd man out to take the bomb. Why couldn't he just take it in like his time with the line of FaZe? I don't know. But the whole dynamic's messed up. I could show you like another screenshot of LA Thieves. LA Thieves. The LA Thieves. 2 examples. Their dynamics messed up. Abizi and Kenny are tweaking. So here's 2 screenshots. So this is from Blackheart. Both of them are from Blackheart. When they just got like a 4 down and it was very clear that all of Paris was spawning like right on the front side because the spawns on Blackheart are so simple. And you have Abe who just decided to start watching freaking Casper the Ghost over there. Has no idea what's going on. And this one's even more hilarious. P1 going into P2. And this was for like 5 seconds before like a BZ Flick turned around. Him and Kenny were both running to go pick up the same thing for like 3 whole seconds before Abizi's like, oh shit, I should turn around. Abizi turns around, goes to pick up the lane, and Neptune kills them, flips the spawns, and Paris gets all P2. Hilarious. Like, their whole dynamic, their pacing is all off. I'm not going to get super into it because I don't want this episode to be so long, but we're going to talk about it over the weekend after, like, the games are over, obviously. I could yap for 2 hours, but I could only make this so long because it does have to render and be up by the morning, which is going to be, like, another task entirely. A busy pick up the phone. A busy pick up the phone. He's not answering no mo. It's hilarious. If I seen Simp with 30 seconds on the scoreboard on my team, I would yell at his ass to not touch OBJ at all. I know, dude. Dude, we're like... Okay, I could even pull this up again. Okay, so... I can appreciate it. Like, it looks like Simp's pretty much doing everything, right? Look, he has the most kills, like the most not the most interactions, because so far has a lot of interactions, but he just has way more hill time all the time than everyone else. It's just so annoying. It's so annoying to see. Like, it should not be happening. It's commendable that he wants to just fucking do it all, and I watched him on this map break a lot of hills and like do like a lot of things objective wise, but it's like maybe he just doesn't like actually roaming. Maybe we just have Simp all wrong. Maybe Simp just wants to be an OBJ player and all of us need to shut the fuck up. Maybe he just really takes pride in it. Maybe he just really wants to do it now. That's cool. Maybe he just really wants to do it now. Just fucking let him do it then. That's cool. Oh, I'm actually gonna post that. The grass ain't always greener on the other side, says hi. Wiser words haven't been spoken. Thieves have serious role issues. Yes, they do. Very bad dynamic issues. And also, the last point I'm going to make on Thieves, because I could actually talk about them for a whole episode. I might have to make a whole podcast episode of the Thieves again. I could talk about them for an hour. But the one thing I'm going to say, the last thing I'll say about Thieves before we move on, part of the problem is I don't think some people are looking themselves in the mirror. Hydra and Scrap are also a problem. You could talk about their slaying and how much they slay and everything, but they are part of the problem. Because it's like, there's a reason why these players around you, I mean, granted, Envoy, like, just for the past 2 years has been having a lot of bad games. So that has nothing to do with everyone else. That's just him. But the way you guys are demanding to play and the way they want to play, it's always going to be a hindrance on everyone else. When Hydra just never wants to hop on the hill, Scrap doesn't want to hop on the hill, people don't want to take bomb, people don't want to do this, they want to just go and get kills. No shit the other people are going to play worse. Like, no shit. Like, you guys are part of the problem. And if you guys don't want to be like OpTic, where everyone takes responsibility, everyone's doing things so everyone looks even on the scoreboard, like OpTic all the time. You look at the scoreboard, no one looks like they're getting pissed on. Everyone is all doing like the same shit. And they have a good dynamic. It's like everyone actually respects each other. Like the way like the LA Thieves dynamic feels is like two players that think they're above everyone. Like, that's just my opinion. But yeah. Come on, Simp. You're the only one that's close to Shotzi. I know, bro. RIP FaZe, literally back to poverty. The FaZe trio would have been so dirty on this game. Yeah, I know. I'm taking FaZe tomorrow. You think they got a chance? Who the heck do they play tomorrow? I mean, I'm going to get into prediction. Oh, LA Thieves. Holy shit. Damn, I forgot about that one. We'll get into predictions in a bit. I've noticed Hydra is getting more hill time in this game so far. Yeah, probably because things haven't been figured out yet. I would probably say that's why. You'll probably see that drastically change as the season goes on. The game's fairly new, so I'm sure players are just trying to do everything right now. But you'll probably see him. But I actually do agree. He has been getting more hill time. And I think that's partially because B's been using an AR a lot. And I think once it gets to SMG meta, the whole thing's going to change. I can't talk. Scrap dropping 40 something and not winning is crazy. Exactly. It happens a lot. But I mean, Scrap is very impactful when it comes to respawn. I will give him that. But the way Hydra and Scrap demand to play, you have two super... It's like Mbappe and Vinicius. That's exactly what it is. Scrap and Hydra are Mbappe and Vinicius. But that dynamic's completely different. Like Mbappe is now just stolen Vinicius's lunch money, his chain, like the tweet says, just taking everything from him, took his lunch money, took his team, took his everything. But it's like two superstars trying to like figure out how to like play and like do like better for the team, I guess you could say. I don't know. Fool needs to go on his freaking Dashi arc, honestly. He really does. Issue. Nobody can change their playstyle up like Bruce. And I think Hydra and Script have to look in the mirror. Like, why did your team get far by freaking Boston at last year's champs? There's a reason for that. You know, you guys lack teamwork. There's a reason why you lost to Boston earlier at a major. You guys lack teamwork. And that comes down to player personalities and how certain players want to play the game. You guys need to get some in your bag. You guys are S-tier players, but you have to be S-tier teammates as well. That's how you actually win. I think Hydra is trying to expand his bag a bit. He's also been planting bomb, but we'll see how long. He's been planting the bomb because the person with the bomb has been dying. I just have to like clarify that. It's so funny because Abizi took the bomb like every round on Colossus, but he had no plans. Hydra had two. It's because Abizi freaking died first and Hydra just planted it. That's why. It's not because Hydra took the bomb. Hydra's never picked that bomb up in his life. Like, ever. He's never picked the bomb up. Dashi, the only person I know that can make the hill a power spot. Exactly. Same with Merc. Merc's the exact same thing. But yeah, that's the case on land. I could yap about that forever, but LA Thieves had dynamic issues. OpTic's pretty much good. They're the same. Paris needs to keep their head on straight, and they'll be a top 2 team. And FaZe, I mean, don't know what the F's going on over there. Just complete, also dynamic issues. Don't know what their idea was for Simp and 04. It's all looking pretty bum. But the last thing I'm going to say real quick, I have this in my notes, have to bring this one up. I was mind blown when I heard this. Oh my God, I was so mind blown when I heard this. And I might actually go on a rant about this. I hate having to go on rants, but after this, we're just going to do the like predictions and literally call it a day. Kenny needs to make Hydra take bomb and Scrap hop and hill. Yeah, we'll see if we got that motion, because they're probably going to be like, shut up, shitter. Shut up, 0.3. Like, I don't want to hear you talk. I don't want to hear this shitter talking. You know, they're probably going to be like that. Who knows? Because Kenny doesn't really have much leeway, except he could be like, I'm a world champion and you're not. That's all he can say. But that's the reason, like, that's partially the reason why they picked him up, because they needed someone that knew how to actually win. But Hydra knows how to win, but apparently he needs more people to know how to win as well. But I bet you every time Kenny says something, they're looking at him like, who this nigga over here? Like, they're looking at him like, who this guy over here? Who this fool over here? Like, trying to tell us how to play. Like, who's this, like, dog shit shitter over here? I'm sorry for swearing. It's chalked. I'm swearing, I guess, for this podcast episode. But after this, I'm going to keep it PG. The last thing I want to say about FaZe real quick. I was mind blown when I heard this. I heard this on somebody's stream, and they confirmed it that Simp actually said this. I think I heard this on the Breaking Point. Not the Breaking Point. It was somewhere else. But Simp on stream. I think this was during the Kason Showdown, I think. No, it couldn't have been during the Kason. I think it was the Monster 75. Simp said, the team he has right now is an end-of-the-year team. Simp said the team that he has right now feels like an end-of-the-year team. What? What? A what? So you're FaZe Vegas. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. By the way. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. So you're FaZe Vegas, a team who is built off of wanting to be the best and win championships, and you're saying your team is an end-of-the-year fucking team? Are you kidding me? An end-of-the-year team. I bet you, from 2019 to 2024 to 2025, I guess, I guarantee not one time you heard Simp ever say that with the previous rosters that he had, we're more of an end-of-the-year team. You want to know what that says to me? We're a pretty average team, but we're probably going to try to get it together during the end of the year. That's what that tells me. I never heard LA Thieves one time with Scrap. Do you think Scrap Hydra with the team last year with Envoy Ghosty, do you think they said we're an end-of-the-year team? No, motherfucker. You make those rosters to be a fucking winning now team. You're a now team. End-of-the-year team. You're basically just fucking saying your shit. That's literally what you're saying. That screams like a lack of confidence. We're an end of the year team. We're probably not going to do good for the first half, guys, but we'll probably pull it together for this. I would, bro, if I heard someone say that, bro, if I was like head coach of LA Thieves and I heard Hydra say, oh yeah, like our team's more of an end of the year team. What? What do you mean an end of the year team? We're doing this now. Yeah, throw all the majors out the window. I promise you, he wouldn't say it to his old team. Exactly. Went from trying to win every event to end of the year team. I know. My boy Simp CT. Oh my god. Oh my. Went from the CDL dynasty to end of the year team. Ah, man. How the mighty have fallen. At least he's self-aware. Simp lost all his aura in a year. Kenny is still bad. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to go back and find it, but it's a long stream, so I don't know. I really wish, I hope someone finds this clip of me talking about it and they find the clip of him saying that. I want to know where in that stream it was. I will go back and clip that and I'll hang on to it for the end of the year. Simp just lost all of his aura from that. There's no way he said it. And do you think OpTic is saying we're an end of the year team? They're saying, no, we're the best team in the game, motherfucker. Like, we're trying to win now. End of the year team. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard that. I was like, yeah, it's chalked. It seems chalked. Like, they're not winning shit this year, honestly. Prediction for this year's top 5 SMGs and ARs. That might have to be like that might have to be another episode, because this episode is going to go like 3 hours. I have to go to work so I could actually wake up early enough to watch these games at 1 p.m. So I will actually put that in my notes for predictions. We'll actually do that on the Monday episode. I think Sunday night after the flank, I'll probably just record my Borito Talk if my voice isn't hurt. Top 5 SMGs and ARs. I will put that in for the Monday episode of the Borito Talk for sure. That's a great topic. OpTic fans would bring out pitchforks if Shotzi ever said that. Yeah, they would. Like, end of the year team? What? End of the year team? I couldn't believe my eyes when I heard that. I couldn't believe my ears. All right, guys. Now I'm going to just show you my prediction for the standings. For the end of the year standings. We will be there, absolutely. Appreciate you, TW. Appreciate you. Here are my standings for the CDL season. How do I zoom in on this? I don't even know. I'm just going to use like control. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on it there. Here are my oh my god. I forgot. I have like shit blocking the way. Oh no. I need Borito Talk. L production. Okay. Let's do it like this. Oh, whoops. I got a timestamp. Okay. Here are my CDL standings. Here's how I think the standings are going to end for the year. For those of you on audio, I'm obviously going to tell you, don't worry. You're not left out of the loop. Spotify is the best place to listen to Borito Talk in the morning, afternoon, and at nighttime. So the CDL standings, in first place for the CDL standings, OpTic, Texas. Number 2. I was thinking about this, but if I want to back up the points I'm saying, I have to actually like go with this. Paris GentleMates, number 2. 3, LA Thieves. I originally had FaZe Vegas in third place, but then I switched it. So like FaZe Vegas, unless they make a change, they're just going to be like average. And I see FaZe Vegas losing to the other teams more than LA Thieves. So LA Thieves 3rd, FaZe Vegas 4th. Miami Heretics 5th. Very interesting, I know, but I have faith in them with their team. I do. I don't put any stock into the Eric Boom era. I don't put any stock into that. That one's irrelevant. Toronto Koi 6th place. Boston Breach 7th. Cloud9 New York 8th. G2 Minnesota 9th. Carolina Royal Ravens 10th. Riyadh Falcons 11th. Vancouver Surge in dead last in the CDL standings. So a couple notes off of this. I'm not going to let the Monster 2K tourney convince me that Rocker's all of a sudden like a top 5 team in the game. Every team could have a shining moment, but there's a lot of competition in this mid-pack area. So it's like there's so much competition in the mid-pack area that there's just going to be some teams above you and you're going to look like you're in a way worse spot than you might actually be, but there's just like teams better than you. So I have Minnesota there because as good as I think Kremp is, and I think in like another year or two, he's going to be like a top 5 SMG, just like a top 10 player overall in the league. Like it's coming. It's coming sooner than later. And Mamba is gross. He's a very good piece. Estral on the fence about, but you know, a lot of people rate him very highly. But it just screams a team that as the season goes on, they're just going to go through those like inconsistent slumps. I could just already see those happening, regardless of how good I think players are on the team. They're just going to go through the slumps, and it's just going to like put them down there. And I could argue, because I originally also had Cloud9 in 9th, but I just have faith in Afro and Mac to just have some takeover. I do have faith in them. I have more faith, but I should switch that, honestly. That's actually kind of... I'm actually going to switch that again. I'm going to have Cloud9 New York in 9th. I'm actually just going to have him in 9th. Who do I think I am? I'm switching that. Yeah, I just have to. No matter how much faith I have in Afro, it's literally just beans. It's literally just beans for me. I don't know. Just beans for me. So OpTic Texas 1st, Paris 2nd, LA Thieves 3rd, FaZe 4th, Miami 5th. Koi 6th, Boston 7th, Minnesota 8th, C9 9th, Ravens 10th, Falcons 11th, Vancouver Surge 12th. And I think Vancouver's obviously going to be last because I just think their whole team is chalked. They're probably going to ride it out with that roster. I wouldn't be surprised to make one roster change, maybe like for Lunars, maybe. But Gwyn's not going anywhere. Legend's not going anywhere unless he's just dropping 0.2s. They're going to give him time, if not the whole year, and just chalk it. And then, yeah, they're just going to be a bad team. I think the Falcons are going to be worse than the Ravens, even though Falcons have AG and MC. I wouldn't be shocked if they're like in 10th at least. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to put Ravens slightly ahead of them because I think Craze and Lurks have some more takeover. Shafal an hour, thank you for the YouTube sub, even though I think you already do. What the heck? Did you unsubscribe and subscribe again? You muff. But yeah. Falcons, their whole dynamic with AG and MC, I can't wait to watch their game tomorrow and just see how they don't coordinate anything. I can't even wait. Granted, they are playing OpTic. OpTic is probably just going to slam them. But I think Falcons are just going to be a team with no teamwork. They're not going to make any changes. They're just going to ride out the year, having probably some of the highest salaries in the whole entire league, just torching cash. Like, just spent the whole year torching cash, like, not to win anything. Crazy. But I mean, like, to each their own. And then Ravens obviously down there, Cloud9 down there. Boston is a good team, but Koi and Miami and the teams above them are just better. So 7th isn't bad. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they get over Koi, but I'm going to get into my hot takes later, which is why I think Koi is going to be in 6th. And I think Miami's going to be 5th because I think they're going to be consistent, more consistent than everyone else below them. So that's pretty much it. Paris over LA Thieves because I think they're going to perform on land better. Thieves, with their dynamic issues, going to lose to more teams below them. OpTic has no dynamic issues. They're better than everyone. And they're going to beat more teams and make to more finals, so they're going to get more points than everyone, so they have to be first. And then FaZe is better than most teams, but they're still inconsistent, so I put them in 4th. So that's pretty much, yeah. I have faith Falcons will be better than 11th. Well, hi, you are a better man than me. I can tell you that. Dude, why you ban my boy Tuna? Oh, no, like, you're part of the problem, too. I actually if I find out you guys are the Chaos Boys, I'm a perma ban you for life. I'm a IP ban you for life. Falcons lost to Doug, dropping a 0.5. They deserve 11th. Thank you. Yeah, that was a red flag for me, by the way. Hydra, Scrapabeezy have had 3 straight years of making at least 2 grand finals. So unless you think mates are doing the same, Thieves will be at least number 2 because grand finals runs give a fuck ton of points. That is true, but I think Paris is going to be better than them, which is why I put Paris number 2. But I wouldn't be shocked if LA Thieves is number 2. But I just think Paris is actually going to have a better year than them, to be honest. Envoy also managed to win at least once every year. Well, I mean, it was the first time for everything. I mean, granted, he's on, like, the GentleMates. If he's on LA Thieves, I'll probably be like, yeah. But Envoy probably going to win some this year. I would be shocked if, like, they don't turn up at that Paris event. That Paris event is going to be crazy. GentleMates in France with a great team and the crowd cheering them, like, I'd be doped up. They're going to be on perma-dope. Ben mentioned on stream Simp chose 04. Has nothing to do with Kason. He does not agree with Neptune choice either, like, for Simp. Okay, first of all, I know Simp chose 04 because Simp had the keys to the castle. Simp was the only person on FaZe. He chose every single player. I understand that. And I know, and saying it has nothing to do with Kason. Okay, so Simp chose 04, but Kason could still say, I don't want freaking Neptune here. He could still say that. I don't know if that's true, but Simp did choose 04 100%. He had the keys to the castle, for sure. But it's not saying that Kason could have been like, yeah, everyone but Neptune. There's no saying that's not the case. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much exactly. Like, he agrees with 04 over Neptune for Simp. Oh, he agrees with 04 over Neptune for Simp. I mean, everyone's going to be in their words on that because FaZe Vegas ain't going to win a damn thing this year. So all they're going to win is qualifier games. Congratulations. Yeah, but it was still not happening. Kason blackballed Nep. Simp decides the roster, not Kason. That's like Hex saying Shotzi, like, you can't play with Pred. Doesn't work like that. That is true. But, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time where Simp makes bad decisions. I've seen him make bad decisions. I've seen him say things that he doesn't back up. So, I mean, great player, but, yeah, I mean, everyone has their flaws, you know? That is irrelevant. Not really. Once again, synthesize the roster. Okay, you guys are yapping. K-Son made it seem like Nep did some effed up shit. I know. He was just being a business. Neptune is just looking out for himself. Knows the Vancouver team's already chalked. I just don't get it if that even is the case. If that is the case. But those are my standings, okay? Those are my standings, okay? We're ending that part there, and we're going into the second last part. Hot takes. So I'm closing all these tabs. There's two more things. I'm not going to flashbang you yet, so I'm going to keep like the Twitter tab open. My hot take for this season, maybe I'll have more later, but the only one I can think of right now is at some point in time, Insight gets dropped from Toronto Koi. Gets dropped on his face. Koi can't take it no more. He's too slow. Insight gets dropped. And they pick up a challenger player. Maybe Nium, I don't know. No, but probably not. I guarantee another team's probably going to snatch freaking Nium before Koi does, I swear, because they're just type boring. I don't know. But yeah, Insight gets dropped. That's hot take number 1. Hot take number 2, I mean, you guys already know I've been planning this stuff. OpTic not going to win champs. Not really a hot take because anyone could win champs. And there's 2 events I don't want OpTic to win. I know I probably can't stop OpTic from winning at least one. They're due for at least one. But there's 2 events I don't want OpTic to win. Actually, I guess 3. 3 is kind of pushing it, I'm not going to lie, but I mean, I'm going to try my best. But 2 is most important. I don't want OpTic to win their home major, and I don't want OpTic to win champs. I just want to piss in the cereal the home major. I'm not going to lie. I really do. I can't have that happen. Can't have that happen. Okay, let's eventually confirm that on stream. Pointless blaming K-Son. But guys, it's PR. No one's actually gonna say what really happened. That's just the way it is with everything. So to take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Bro, he can still influence the team. Hex did with Mercs. That's a good take. It needs to happen as much as I hate to say it. Oh, thank you. Kleenex gonna fall to his knees. I know. I don't have Insight no more. Insight drop, not really a hot take. I mean, it's the only one I got, brother. It's the only one I got right now. And OpTic not winning champs or their home major. I aim to win 0 events. I'm on the same boat as you. Jamie is a composed player. That's why he's lasted so long. Yeah, and it's literally just, yeah. Honestly, that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to say. That's pretty much it. And, like, so, talking with some people. So, Koi last year knew that Insight was slow, obviously, and they brought in Beans, who they also thought was slow. How does that make any sense? And then they drastically got better when Merc came in, because Merc is literally sprinting at everything. He's in the hill, and all of a sudden, Koi's like, "Oh my god, like the map feels like way better now, because like we have a faster AR. Oh my god, no shit." But like, why couldn't Beans speed up? Like Beans knew he was playing with Insight. Why is he still like a slow player? I don't get these players at all. I literally don't get these players at all. By the way, I don't get these players. But yeah. That's pretty much my hot takes, I think. Yeah. I mean, I don't really got anything else. I mean, I'll probably think of something. I need to, like, see all the teams. I don't know. There's not really much hot takes because, I mean, teams are going to make roster change. I guess I could say maybe Ketty gets dropped, but is that really a hot take nowadays? I mean, is that really a hot take now? I don't know. But, yeah, we're going to do the match predictions and wrap up this episode. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I may do more of these live because you guys actually kind of motivated me. I thought I was going to be yapping to myself for like an hour, but fuck. This shit was kind of lit. This shit was actually fucking turned. I'm not gonna lie. This shit was fucking bumping in here. Shit was actually bumping in this bitch. They have an industry plant Merc on their team now, bro. I'm afraid they get at least one. Yeah, they're gonna get one, but it's not gonna be their home major. It's not gonna be champs. Guys, when I tell you I'm gonna be actively in people's ears at that major. I was actually going to chalk the qualifiers in to say OpTic's going to win the qualifiers, whatever. But I'm going to try even in the qualifiers, maybe not as hard as the major, but if OpTic starts their home major in losers bracket, but they play Falcons and Minnesota, so that's like an auto 2 wins, like not really much I could do there, you know. But they play Miami, they play FaZe Vegas. Okay, they got a harder schedule. And LA Thieves, they could lose these games. Okay, they got a pretty hard schedule after the first 2 games. Okay, they got a pretty hard schedule. Okay. If only I could get like the Falcons to beat them, bro, that would really actually set the tone. I'm not going to lie. That would really set the tone. Justice for Kenny, his stock has plummeted greatly. Yeah, Merc, definitely not real. He AI. I pray mates get at least 1. That's another prediction, but not really a hot take. Paris is going to get at least 1 as well. So, OpTic Texas, Major 1 qualifier starting tomorrow. First game of the season. They finally put a good one. First game of the season. Can you imagine? Riyadh Falcons versus OpTic Texas. I have OpTic. Shocker, shocker. 2:30 p.m. The game after. Carolina Royal Ravens versus Boston Breach. It's early. Haven't seen Boston play in a while. Not going to lie. Haven't seen them play in a while. Haven't asked about their scrim, so I don't know anything going on. Have seen Ravens, got a glimpse. I'm thinking matchups and like Craze and Lurks against the Boston team with Cammy. I was going to say Boston, like just because I think they're a better team, but you know what? I'm going to say Ravens. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to say Ravens. And then the last game of the Friday, the big one, Simp versus Abizi in the opening day. LA Thieves versus FaZe Vegas, the last game of Friday to close out the opening day, the Monster Energy matchup. The Tiny Terror Bowl. Small fry against small fry. Shrimp against shrimp. P against P. Who is going to win? LA Thieves or FaZe Vegas? I have... I'm going to take FaZe Vegas in this game. I'm going to take FaZe Vegas. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to take FaZe Vegas. I may eat those words. My predictions may be off. Who cares? They're predictions. But I have OpTic, Ravens, and FaZe Vegas. Those are my predictions for the Friday games. Yeah. Paris' best chance winning their major. That's for sure. Mates winning in Paris would go hard. Dude, that goes super hard. Ravens take this one. They're going to have a decent start and then turn to shit. I could agree with that. I'm off tomorrow too. I'm getting turned on the season opener. Let's go. I'm turned, man. I'm turned. I'm going to bed early. I'm waking up early. I'm starting early. But yeah, that's pretty much this episode of Borito Talk. I mean, this has been way longer than I thought. This is like an hour and a half episode. Jesus Christ. Didn't think it was going to be that long. I thought it was going to be like half an hour. So, I mean, thank you guys. Wait, who's on Ravens again? Craze, Lurk, Slasher, and Nero. Craze, Lurks, Slasher, and Nero. That's who's on that team. Yeah, I know I have FaZe. I know it sounds crazy, but these qualifiers are messed up. And I saw the way LA Thieves and FaZe played against each other, and I know LA Thieves beat them, but I saw like glimpses of like FaZe like should have won that game if like some things went different. I think there's like a matchup there. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I think FaZe is going to take that. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Won't lie, Simp just looking depressed as fuck in the cam after the Thieves 3-0 with 0-4 dropping to 0.7 is definitely an outcome I could see happening. I know he doesn't want to lose to a BZ, and I know he lost to him at this. I know he's probably going to go super hard. Now I can see FaZe winning. I can too. But I'm going to end the episode of Borito Talk, and then actually maybe I'll just like chat with you guys off the stream. But guys, this has been another episode of the Borito Talk podcast. Thank you for watching. Hit a drop shot on that follow button on Spotify. Tell a friend. Recommend the podcast to a friend. Spotify. Every single week now that the season started. Every single week there will be a Borito Talk on Monday. After the games, going over the games. We'll do it live on stream. Maybe, depending how late the day goes. But it will be on your docket on Monday morning. Every Monday. Until pretty much the end of the season, or unless there's like a break. There's going to be breaks, but I'm going to be having guests on in between then too. You're going to see people like Ben J back on. I know. You're going to be seeing people like Ben J back on for yaps about the games for sure. You're going to be seeing, I'm going to be getting a lot of different guests. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of different people. You guys are going to be seeing a lot of different people. But I mean, most importantly, you're going to be seeing Borito. You're gonna be seeing me. But thank you guys for watching the Burrito Talk podcast. I am your host, Burrito, the #1 CDL ESPN analyst. Bada boom, bada bye. We'll see you next time. That outro is crazy. I don't know. But yeah, bye.